Hello and welcome to Two Thieves. In this video, I'm going to share my top 5 Jesus moments in the movies. Now these are intentionally big movies and obvious moments you've probably all seen. There will be some spoilers, but I would love for you to comment below with your favourite moments a bit like these. First up is Gandalf versus the Balrog. Tolkien, along with his friend C.S. Lewis, is one of the great Christian writers and said that The Lord of the Rings is a fundamentally religious work. Whilst he supposedly wasn't a fan of simple allegory, and there's no single Christ figure in the series, Tolkien weaves Christian ideas everywhere in this story. My favourite moment is when the Fellowship face the Balrog in the Mines of Moria. They're facing almost certain death and an endless descent into darkness, when Gandalf heroically steps forward, telling the fire demon he shall not pass.
You shall not pass!
But the only way he can destroy this enemy is sacrificially laying his life down for the others. He tells them to fly before plunging into darkness and death.
Fly, you fools!
Everyone mourns, and that is until he rises again a few days later as Gandalf the White. You can't miss the echo of the death and resurrection of Jesus here. Number 2, the death of Neo. The Matrix is another film filled with Christian imagery. Neo is the long-awaited saviour known as the One, who's prophesied to save humanity to a place called Zion. In the film, Neo, or Mr. Anderson, a name meaning Son of Man, is sent by his friend Trinity to start performing miracles through the power of belief.
He's beginning to believe.
He even travels on a ship marked Mark 3 number 11, a Bible reference reading, "You are the Son of God." At the climax of the first movie, everyone's hopes are dashed as the promised saviour is killed. But as Jesus figures tend to, he miraculously rises again to defeat evil, save the world, and even ascends to heaven before the credits roll with some pretty sweet Rage Against the Machine music. This really is just Jesus in a leather coat. Number 3, the rescue of Malfoy. J.K. Rowling said she kept her Christian faith quiet in early press interviews for fear that it would give away certain key plot points. Here's another story of good conquering evil through the sacrifice and resurrection of a prophesied saviour. But before we reach that ending, there's a moment I like even more. Harry is caught in a fire started by his enemies, and despite the inferno all around them, Harry's enemies continue to throw death curses at him. But when Malfoy gets trapped and cannot save himself, to the viewer's shock, Harry sacrificially puts his own life at risk to save his enemy. Ron can't understand this and yells,
If we die for them, Harry, I'm gonna kill you!
Now this moment really hits home for the audience because here we see a glimpse of the baffling love of the gospel, where Jesus didn't come to save friends, but enemies who hated him and deserved nothing. Harry's love for Malfoy here is a faint flicker of God's love for us. Number 4, Katniss volunteers. In the Hunger Games series written by Suzanne Collins, we're plunged into a dark world with 12 poor districts oppressed by a fabulously wealthy totalitarian capital. Every year, districts are forced to send 2 children as tributes to fight to the death for the capital's entertainment and as a reminder of the futility of rebellion. It's a horrific story that begins with the total corruption and depravity of human nature and institutions. But in all this darkness, a light shines. When Primrose Everdeen is selected to fight in the Hunger Games, she doesn't stand a chance. In this emotional moment, her older sister Katniss volunteers to step in as tribute.
I volunteer as tribute!
This is exactly what Jesus does for us. Compelled by fierce love, he sees our plight and volunteers as our tribute. Number 5, Ripley's Sacrifice. My final choice was a tough one, but comes from David Fincher's sequel in the Alien series. At first we might think there's nothing particularly Christian about an alien horror movie set in space, but guess again. In Alien 3, our hero, Ellen Ripley, who's already saved the day twice now, finds herself carrying a queen alien inside her. In a heroic moment, she chooses to sacrifice herself with the alien inside her to defeat evil. And check out the cruciform gesture. And to complete the full arc, Ripley is then brought back from the dead in the sequel, aptly named Alien Resurrection. We love a story of the hero who sacrificially saves the world. Now, even when it's not as clear-cut as these examples, we continually visit this biblical story arc of creation, curse, cross, and crown, the story at the heart of all stories. Now, there are loads of other Christ moments in movies. I would love to hear your favourite ones below. Hit subscribe for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.